Good morning. Had to make a parts run here this morning. Just run to the dealership. What we got coming at us here? Old New Holland. Welcome back to the channel. Just want to do a quick video here. Had to go after some parts this morning for the 8070 Allis Chalmers tractor. Use it to pull my grain cart with. Got a Kilbros 1600, and just want to do a quick video here. I'll do a video of the tractor and grain cart here when we get back, but like I said, just wanted to see what the crops were looking like out this way. I'm about an hour east of the house. There's several Amish farms out this side of town also. They are set up to do anything from buy your boots and shoes to work on leather, a lot of framing, about anything you can think of out this side of town here. And it's just this morning, this weather, it called for some overcast, and it looks like it's going to be overcast for majority of the day, but the temperature's warm, but it's just kind of this drizzle rain right now. And good day to get some parts and get some things caught up. A lot of beans ran out this way. Some guys are starting on some corn. A lot of the corn numbers I've heard out here are decent yield, anywhere from 180 to 220, 230. The moisture is just not drying down very fast right now. The moisture is anywhere from 18 and a half all the way up to 24, 25. So it's got a little ways to go unless you're going to burn some propane. But yeah, the weather right now, the weekend was decent. We just got a lot of overcast skies right now and just some on and off drizzle. There's a field that's had some pattern tile work done. That's a pretty big deal out in this area. This part, as you can tell, is pretty rolling, but it changes every few miles. You go from a rolling area to tabletop flat. Every place is just kind of short-lived, but pattern tile is kind of a big deal out this side. We got a lot of potholes and low areas. We do have ditches to outlet too, which that's good. But yeah, hopefully the weather straightens up here today, and the next couple 2-3 days should be pretty decent weather-wise, and hopefully everybody can get back in the field again. You'll have to excuse the rattling. I've got tools and everything else piled up back here in the back seat. That's probably what the rattling noise is you're going to be hearing. But yeah, other than that, we're just heading back with parts. Had to grab some parts for a buddy of mine. He runs a Gleaner S series, and he needed some there's an auger and a small tractor out there. He runs a Gleaner S series with a 35-foot head. He had some bearings go bad on him here over the weekend, so always like to make a phone call while I'm going to get parts, because like I said, our dealership for Agco, Allis, Gleaner, they're all roughly about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on where you are. So we always kind of give each other a heads up when we're going to see if there's anything we need, and it worked out good this time. So I grabbed his parts, and so he can get back up and going here today or this afternoon, possibly if the sun pops out. But like I was saying, I'll do a video here this afternoon, and we'll service the 8070. It needs needs all of its hydraulic filters changed, and we need to go through and change all the fluids, and I'll do a quick tutorial on that. And then in another video I'd like to go through and just do a quick equipment line of what we run on our farm. Like I said, I'm new to the YouTube world, just trying to get some things going here for smaller operations, and yeah, we'll go from there. But like you see, there's a lot of corn still standing. The corn's gonna be slow coming out this year, I do believe. It's just still wet, but we are in the middle of October, so we still got time. Well, here we have the 8070 I bought about 5 years ago. Came just like you see it, front wheel assist, weights on the front. The only thing it needs right now is the AC charged. It's got a blown line, so I have to pull the system down and fix that. I'm getting ready to do the service on it. I went through the motor, replaced all those filters, new coolant, new filters, new oil, all that. I'm getting ready to do the transmission and hydro. Here's the Kilbros cart I just picked up here this summer from a local guy just up the road. It's a 1600 model cart. It had new flighting put in it, and I just put some new hoses on it and things of that nature. But other than that, it's a pretty decent setup for what we're doing. Nothing fancy by no means, but it gets the job done. The cart came with a tarp on it. Tarp's only a couple years old. Rubber's still in decent shape here on the tires. This cart's been repainted at some point in its life. I like to go through and repaint the tractor and then probably just go ahead and paint the cart the same Allis Chalmers orange. Like I said, there's the roll tarp on it. The gentleman I got it from told me I should be able to squeeze about 750, 800 bushel of corn in it. Luckily, most of our fields are all flat, so I'm a one-man operation most of the time. My wife helps me out when she can, and then I've got a town job too. So main purpose of this cart was just to use as a holding buggy. That way, if I can get 700-800 bushel in it, and then I can get 200 to 210, 220 in the combine, and then between the two, then that gets me 1,000 bushel. And I've got a guy that's hauling the grain for me this year. So this tractor's got about 5,700 hours on it. Bought it from not the original owner, but the second to original owner. So it spent most of its life over in Ohio. And the grain cart, it spent majority of its life right here locally within about 5 miles of our farm. So like I said, I'm getting ready to change all the transmission fluid in it, put new filters in it. This one is the power shift, as you can tell. That filter right there has to be replaced, and then the other two are down on the belly. They got to be replaced, and there's a strainer in the sump. Pop it out and replace it. Also, I went ahead and got all the 821 fluid to put back in it. Like to try to go with all AGCO parts while they're still available and whatnot. Need to clean the cab out a little bit. I'm gonna try to put a cab kit in it here this winter. Get the seat reupholstered, get it fixed up a little bit. I said nothing fancy by no means, but it gets the job done for what I need to do. So I will do some more video on this as I'm changing the filters and the fluid as we go, and give it a quick little tutorial. Well, we got the rear diff draining. Got that plug out and that plug. Got them draining out. Next is to remove this cover, and there's a filter in there. And then I got another one on this side, which is right here. They are different per side. And then get those put back in, then I can fill the rear end up, put those plugs in, get that rear end filled up, and then we go on up to this plug, drain out the front half of the transmission. I'm sorry, the transmission, it's just mounted on the front half. We drain it out, and then there is a filter you can barely see right there. I gotta take it off and replace it. That's all for the power shift. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these covers off, get these filters put back on, and I'll get back with you. Well, here's the new filter with the spring attached. And here's the cover. It needs to go back on. This all goes right up here. We've got that all cleaned out nice. As you can tell, my barrel here, I might have to drain that before I do the transmission, but there's roughly about 15-18 gallons that came out of the rear end. So I'm gonna get ready to slide this back together. Well, now we got the left side apart. As you can tell, that's a short, more diameter filter on the left side, versus that is a long, tall, skinny one with a spring in it. And like I said, they are side specific. So I'm gonna get this one cleaned out, get those new O-rings put in, and get this guy put back in there. On the left hand side of the tractor, I got this filter switched out and changed. You gotta make sure that you pull all the plugs, because every plug, every cavity, there's that one, and then there's that back one. They all have oil in them, along with that one up there on the axle and this one. So you gotta make sure you drain all four of them, along with changing out the filters to make sure you get all the old oil out of it. All right, we're getting close to wrapping this up. That strainer you see there, I should have videoed it, but it came out of here where you see that fresh RVT silicone. And all I got left, I've got all my plugs back in, got my filters in there, my filters on there, strainers in the sump. I just gotta do my power shift filter back there in the back and start filling it up. All right, we're down to the second to last step. This is the filter housing base that had that filter in it that goes right there. And this is on the power shift models only. Power directors don't have this. So we took the bolt out, spring, there's a little bushing, seal, got everything cleaned up. Got the canister all cleaned out, brake clean real good. There's the new filter. This snaps in the top, helps keep it aligned inside the bowl here. So I'm gonna get all this put back together. New filter, snap that guy in place, or I'll snap it in place, torque it down, and everything on the bottom side is where it needs to be and torqued, and we're down to putting fluid in it and firing it up. So we'll be back with you here shortly.